pasta I use is the macaroni pasta from Italy. So, and of course, remember my friends, I parboil that with a little bit of sweet corn and of course peas. So you can also after after parboiling, you can blanch that, run that in cold water so it doesn't stick together. Make your cheese sauce, your bechamel sauce on the side, and then steam your pasta on another pot and a saucepan, and then run that in cold water. And of course, mix that together. Get that straight into the oven. Pop in a little bit of cheese, and then we're going to pop cheese again at the very end, and then we're going to serve that. You can garnish that with parsley. Always serve your mac and cheese with veg at the side. Makes it nice and lovely. Or you can just pop in your sweet corn, or you can also pop in more cheese sauce at the very end if you want. You can see it's nice and hot now. So what we're going to do, we're going to serve that on the bowl, and we're going to pop in more cheese, and then we're going to do it's nice and hot now. This is a Dutch oven, so I'm going to pop in the lid on top, nice and hot, and then we're going to serve that. So now time for service. It's time for service, my friends. My friends, remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. This is really amazing. So if you like, you can put the cheese on top again, then pop it that straight in the oven, and make sure it's grilled for some time again. You just bake that in the oven, and then you enjoy that. Look at that, amazing. Lovely mac and cheese. So I'm making the honey mac and cheese. Basically, what we need to make a mac and cheese is just some lovely butter, and then we need flour. So we're gonna pop in the butter in. We need about 50 grams, and then we need flour 100 grams. So we're making 250 grams of mac and cheese. So now I'm gonna melt it and then make a roux. So I'm making the honey one. I'm gonna pop honey later, and then we got macaroni. We already steamed the macaroni, so it's nice and lovely. Look at that, amazing. So lovely parboiled macaroni with peas and sweet corn. And then I'm gonna pop in. So my butter is already melted. Pop a little bit more. And I'm gonna make a roux straight away. So I'll make a roux with the flour. So I'm gonna pop down the hop straight away to make that melted, and then it looks amazing. Once I make my roux, I'm gonna grab my milk. I'm gonna grab my milk from the fridge straight away. Lovely. So that's gonna be the best mac and cheese ever. So making the honey one. So my roux is gonna be ready in a couple of minutes. So now I'm gonna pop it. You can use plain flour, separating flour, that's alright. So I'm gonna pop in my flour. So that looks good. I don't want to burn that, so I'm gonna pop in 100 grams of flour into 50 grams of butter, and then I'm gonna make the roux straight away. So I'm gonna turn that off, and then I'm gonna stir that to make the roux. So once it to bind together, wash something like that, a little bit more. Carry on cooking that a little bit on the hob. So that's alright. And then, so actually we're making a bechamel sauce with like a cheese sauce. So we can pop in cream or milk, that's alright. So that's the roux. So that's the roux. Now I'm gonna pop in my milk. So I'm using that. You can use cream, that's alright. So I'm gonna pop in 100 grams of milk. Lovely, look at that, amazing. So now I'm gonna give it a quick stir, and I'm gonna whisk that. Pop down the hob again. So I'm gonna pop down the hob, and then I'm gonna carry on stirring down the hob. So we can use wicks. I'm gonna grab my wicks at the very end. I want it nice and hot. I'm gonna wicks that at the very end. For now, we're gonna keep stirring that. So my friends, remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. So we're making the honey mac and cheese. So we're making our bechamel, and then I'm gonna pop in my grated cheese at the very end. Lovely. So that is ready. The cheese have more. Now I'm gonna put lovely macaroni. So as I said earlier on, I'm making the honey mac and cheese. I'm gonna pop in my honey at the very end. So I got my lovely macaroni ready. So you can parboil yours and blanch that, run that in cold water. So I have my lovely macaroni and peas and sweet corn. I'm gonna pour that straight away into this lovely cheese sauce. Or basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bake that, I'm gonna get that straight into the oven. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop in the cheese sauce in that one. This is the Dutch oven. So let's pop in our cheese sauce into that one. So that's the cheese sauce. So I'm gonna give that a quick stir. You see, it's nice and creamy, like that. Nice and creamy. Now I'm gonna get that straight into the oven. I'm gonna bake that, popping a bit of cream on it. You can see it's nice and creamy. Nice and creamy. Now I'm gonna pop in a bit of milk, get that straight into the oven, pop in more cheese. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop in more cheese. You can see it's nice and creamy. This is nice and creamy. So we're gonna get that straight in the oven. Pop in a bit of cheese, get that straight in the oven, and then you can see nice and creamy. Lovely. This is what we're talking about. This is the honey mac and cheese. So we're gonna pop in the honey at the very end. So the bechamel sauce is in, the cheese sauce. Straight into the oven, my friends. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Amazing. So let's get that straight into the oven. Preheat our oven. A little bit of cheese. That's my bechamel. I'm going to put in the rest of the bechamel in here. It's creamy. And then once it's cooked, I'm going to pop in the cheese inside. It's nice and creamy. So that's the grated cheese. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in my lid on it, get that straight into the oven, and then I'm gonna bake that for about 10 minutes. So let's bake that for about 10 minutes. Once it's ready, I'm going to show you guys how it came out. For now, let's heat that up So we're going to garnish that with parsley, you know. So leave that cooking for now, and it's going to be ready in 10 minutes. So these are the recipe, nice and easy. Pop a little bit of oregano and black pepper. Amazing. It's a lovely honey mac and cheese. Uh, as I said, we're making honey mac and cheese, and the macaroni and cheese is in the oven. It's almost ready. So, beginning, when I started my live stream, I made a cheese sauce, which is a bechamel sauce, and I said I pop in my lovely, butter, about 50 grams into. That's the saucepan I use actually. So I use that for the bechamel. What I did was to pop in my lovely butter into that, and then flour. So 50 grams of butter and then 100 grams of flour. So I made a roux, and after making a roux, I pop in my milk. So you can use cream, that's alright. So I put in my cream and milk, about 150 grams. Then make a cheese sauce, and then I pop in my grated cheese. So you can use cheddar, mozzarella, it's up to you, my friends. So I use grated cheddar, and then made a cheese sauce, and of course, just parboil your macaroni, almost cooked, and you run in cold water so it doesn't stick together. And then what I did, I added some peas and sweet corn into that, and of course, don't forget to pop in a little bit of black pepper and of course oregano into the lovely pasta. So it's a macaroni pasta. And of course, I'm going to pop in honey at the very end. We don't want to cook our honey because we're making a honey mac and cheese. It's the best mac and cheese ever. So you can use a plain flour, you can use a seasoning flour, that's all right. So now, my friends, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how the mac and cheese came out. So I'm going to play that into this lovely bowl. So mac and cheese ready. So you can enjoy that with veg on the side. So now, what I'm going to do, we're gonna get that out from the oven, pop in a bit more cheese on top, and then get that ready to eat. So I'm gonna pop in my meat back into the fridge, and then we're gonna get our cheese, my macaroni out from the oven. It's gonna be a lovely mac and cheese. Amazing, lovely. So now, my friends, macaroni is ready. So here we go. Get out from the oven. Pop in our lovely honey. I'm going to pop in about 2 tablespoons of honey. So I'm going to grab my tablespoon. Yeah, 2 tablespoons of honey. And then we're going to enjoy that. So I'm going to put that away, I don't need anymore. Get that nice and So my friends, remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. So honey mac and cheese ready. So now, that is honey mac and cheese. So I'm going to do that now on the hob. Give that a little bit of, make it nice and hot on the hob. We don't want to waste time. So it's nice and creamy. So you can see, so straight on the hob. I'm gonna cook down the hob straight away. What I'm gonna do, I don't want to heat that. I don't want that to burn. So this is what we're talking about. It looks amazing. It's nice and creamy. So I want it nice and hot. I'm going to serve that now, straight away. Looks amazing. So I'm going to turn down the heat. I want the heat turned down. If I increase the heat, it's going to burn. So I'm going to stir that bit by bit. It's a creamy mac and cheese. It looks amazing, my friends. Nice and hot. My friends, remember to share, like, and subscribe. I'm going to make another amazing recipe tomorrow. I make live streams every day on the Bechamel sauce. So don't forget, my friends, you can rewatch the video for the sweet corn and of course at the side. Set that now. So that's the honey inside. So I'm going to give that a quick stir. Now, I'm going to pop a bit of cheese on top. Yum yum. If you like, you can put the cheese on top again, then pop it that straight into the oven and make sure it's grilled for some time again. You just bake that in the oven and then you enjoy that. Look at that. Amazing. I'm going to try that again. Yum yum. Honey mac and cheese. Yum yum. I love the honey inside.